The Abbasid Revolution, how Islam's greatest rift began. It was 632 CE. The sun rose over Medina, but something felt off. The Prophet Muhammad, the man who had united tribes, shattered idols, and changed the course of history, had just passed away. No successor, no instructions, just silence. So what happened next? Who had the right to lead the Muslim world? Why did the closest companions suddenly become rivals? What tore the community apart, not just politically, but spiritually? How did one assassination spark centuries of sectarian divide? This isn't just history. It's the origin of every tension, every debate, every heartbreak that echoes through the Muslim world to this day. From the first rift between Ali and Abu Bakr to the civil wars that split the Ummah and the tragic assassination of Hussain at Karbala, this story is soaked in loyalty, betrayal, blood, and belief. And yes, there's drama. There's suspense. There's even a camel named Qaswa, who might have had more political influence than some caliphs. So grab your tea, tighten your turban, and prepare to witness the most pivotal moments in Islamic history, told like never before. It was a summer day in Medina, and the air was heavy, not just with heat, but with heartbreak. Prophet Muhammad, the spiritual and political nucleus of the Muslim community, had passed away. Cue the collective existential crisis. The man who had united tribes, toppled idols, and brought divine revelation was gone. And unlike modern democracies, there was no constitution, no designated successor, and certainly no HR department to handle leadership transitions. While the community mourned, a group of companions gathered at Saqifa, a shaded meeting place that would soon become the hottest political venue in Arabia. There, Abu Bakr, the Prophet's close friend, confidant, and the man who had once shared a cave with him while fleeing assassins, was chosen as the first caliph, successor. It was a moment of swift decision-making, but not without controversy. Ali, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, was notably absent from the Saqifa meeting. Why? He was busy with the funeral. Yes, while others debated leadership, Ali was washing and burying the man they all revered. Many believed that Ali, being both family and a devout follower, should have been the natural successor. This disagreement would eventually snowball into a theological and political divide that still echoes today. Ali did eventually become caliph, but not before three others had taken the mantle. His reign was noble, but turbulent. The empire was cracking, and the glue wasn't holding. Ali's rule was marked by civil war. On one side were the Shi'at Ali, party of Ali, mostly from Iraq and Persia. On the other were the Shi'at Muawiyah, loyal to the governor of Syria, Muawiyah. It was less a game of thrones and more a game of camels, with swords, pikes, and a whole lot of shouting. Ali's enemies weren't just external. A radical group called the Kharijites, who believed anyone could be caliph if they were pious enough, turned on him. One of them assassinated Ali while he was praying in a mosque. Talk about a tragic mic drop. Muawiyah seized power and founded the Umayyad dynasty. For the next 90 years, the Umayyads ruled with a mix of military might and questionable ethics. They expanded the empire from the Indus River to Iberia, but their rule was marked by elitism. Arab Muslims were treated like VIPs, while non-Arab converts were handed the spiritual equivalent of economy class, complete with a tax, jizya, that was supposed to be for non-Muslims only. The Prophet had said, "No Arab is superior to a non-Arab except in piety." The Umayyads apparently missed that memo. The Umayyads committed one of the most infamous acts in Islamic history. The assassination of Hussain ibn Ali, the Prophet's beloved grandson, at Karbala. Hussain had stood against tyranny, and for that he was slaughtered. His death became a rallying cry for justice, and a permanent scar on the soul of the Muslim world. After Hussein's death, a man named Mukhtar al-Thaqafi rose up in Iraq. He backed Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiyyah, a son of Ali but not of Fatima, the Prophet's daughter. Mukhtar was defeated, but his ideas lived on. When Muhammad died, his son Abu Hashim became the new symbol of resistance. Then came a twist worthy of a Netflix series. Abu Hashim allegedly named his successor, a distant cousin named Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Abdullah ibn al-Abbas. That's right, the great-grandson of the Prophet's uncle. Not a direct descendant, but still family. And thus, the Hashimiyya movement was born. The real revolution didn't start in Muhammad ibn Ali's sleepy village of Humayma. It began in Khorasan, a frontier province that was basically the Wild East. Stretching across modern-day Iran, Afghanistan, and Central Asia, Khorasan was a melting pot of cultures, languages, and grievances. The cities of Merv, Samarkand, and Bukhara were rich, cosmopolitan, and brimming with discontent. Arab elites ruled, but the majority, non-Arab Muslims, were treated like second-class citizens. They were warriors, hardened by frontier skirmishes, and they were fed up. In 743 CE, Caliph Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik died. He was the last Umayyad with a grip on power. What followed was a parade of assassinations, short reigns, and general chaos. By 744 CE, Marwan II took the throne, but the empire was already cracking like a stale pita. Now pause for a sec, step into the extraordinary, subscribe to Eccentric Digital Pixel. Welcome to the wild frontier of creativity, where pixels pulse with imagination and every frame tells a story you've never seen before. At Eccentric Digital Pixel, we don't follow trends, we bend reality. From surreal digital art to mind-blowing visual experiments, this is your backstage pass to the future of expression. Why hit subscribe? Get exclusive access to jaw-dropping digital creations. Be the first to witness new drops by turning on notifications. Dive into a world of eccentric brilliance that inspires, challenges, and captivates. Join a community of visionaries who crave the unconventional. Don't just scroll, experience the pixel revolution. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss a masterpiece. Because normal is boring, and you were born to see the world differently. The Umayyads were wobbling like a camel on roller skates. After decades of ruling with the subtlety of a sledgehammer, they had alienated just about everyone who wasn't a pure-blooded Arab aristocrat. Non-Arab Muslims, the Mawali, were treated like spiritual interns. They paid taxes meant for non-Muslims, were denied high office, and were generally told to sit quietly and admire Arab superiority. Meanwhile, the Abbasids, descendants of the Prophet's uncle Al-Abbas, were quietly building a network of spies, missionaries, and propaganda agents. Their message? A member of the Prophet's family will be your next caliph. Vague enough to unite everyone, clever enough to keep rivals guessing. In the summer of 747 CE, the city of Merv, a bustling Silk Road metropolis, woke up to a parade of black-clad revolutionaries marching through its streets. Their leader? A mysterious man named Abu Muslim. His name literally meant father of a Muslim, which is about as subtle as naming your child Destiny of the Faith. Abu Muslim was charismatic, ruthless, and brilliant. He expelled the Umayyad bureaucracy from Merv like a bad smell and declared the revolution underway. The caliph in Damascus panicked. He realized the Abbasids were plotting something big, so he sent men to arrest Ibrahim, the head of the Abbasid family in Humayma. Ibrahim was executed, but the rest of the Abbasid clan scattered like dates in a sandstorm. Abu Muslim didn't flinch. He secured Khorasan, rallied his troops, and marched west, sweeping through Iran and Iraq like a divine broom. In Kufa, a man named Abu Salama raised the Abbasid banner and joined the cause. The Abbasid family, now led by Abu al-Abbas, arrived in Kufa to a hero's welcome. Locals swarmed his house to pledge allegiance. Abu al-Abbas took the title as Safa, meaning the bloodshedder. Not exactly subtle, but hey, branding matters. In the Mosque of Kufa, as Safa gave a speech that was part TED Talk, part declaration of vengeance. He reminded the crowd that the Abbasids were from the house of Hashim, the Prophet's clan. He spoke to the Iraqis, the Persians, the Khorasanis, the non-Arab Muslims who had been sidelined for too long. He pointed to the old civil war between Ali and Muawiyah, reminding everyone that Iraq had backed Ali while Syria had backed Muawiyah. Now power was shifting from Damascus to Kufa. The east was rising. Marwan II, the last Umayyad caliph, wasn't going down without a fight. He gathered his forces and met the Abbasid army, led by Safa's uncle Abdullah, at the river Zab on January 25, 750 CE. It was a massacre. The Umayyads were crushed. Marwan fled to Egypt, where he was hunted down and killed. The Umayyad Caliphate was officially toast. The Abbasids didn't just win, they purged. Umayyad princes were hunted like wild game. Over 60,000 people were reportedly killed by Abu Muslim during and after the revolution. One prince, Abd al-Rahman, escaped and founded the Emirate of Cordoba in Spain, a tale for another time. But even allies weren't safe. Abu Salama, who had helped raise the Abbasid banner, was suspected of wanting to be the puppet master. As Safa invited him over for a friendly chat, on his way home he was assassinated. The Kharijites were blamed. Sure, meanwhile, the Abbasids were flexing their muscles. At the Battle of Talas River in Kazakhstan, they clashed with the mighty Tang dynasty of China. The Abbasids won, halting Chinese expansion into Central Asia and capturing Chinese papermakers, which would change Islamic civilization forever. As Safa died in 754 CE after a long illness, he had nominated his brother Abu Ja'far, later known as Al-Mansur, as his successor. But in Syria, Uncle Abdullah, the hero of the Zab, thought he deserved the throne. He rallied unemployed Syrians and bitter Khorasanis. Not exactly a dream team. Abu Ja'far was on pilgrimage with Abu Muslim. He begged Abu Muslim to support him. Abu Muslim, reluctant but loyal, agreed. When the two armies met at Nisbin, the Khorasanis saw Abu Muslim on Abu Ja'far's side and deserted Abdullah. The Syrians followed. Abdullah was left alone and placed under house arrest. Abu Ja'far al-Mansur became caliph, but he knew one thing: Abu Muslim was too powerful. He had the army, the loyalty, and the charisma. If al-Mansur didn't act, he'd be a figurehead in his own empire. Long live the House of Al-Abbas, and long live your thirst for history. From the deserts of Arabia to the palaces of Cordoba, we've got more legends to uncover. Stay curious, stay bold, and we'll see you in the next story. Before you go, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the rise of the Abbasid Caliphate with all its black banners, betrayals, and bloodshed, then you definitely don't want to miss what's coming next. So here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. Follow us for more epic tales from history that feel like they were ripped straight from a thriller novel. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a moment of intrigue, revolution, or royal drama. Click the notification bell to get instant alerts whenever we drop a new story. Because trust me, you won't want to be late to the next chapter.